Today's 31st of March, Friday. Since I have my little Yanmar 2310 out, remember I took it out the other day to use the sprayer for grass fire control in case I started a fire again, and wetting everything down so I did not start a fire again. That would be with the wand. Pretty handy, and it worked perfectly for that purpose. So it's not just a sprayer. If you're outside working, don't want to catch a bunch of dry grass on fire, you got one, okay, you got a spray rig, spritz it down with a wand, be done. Anyway, Yanmar 2310, 80s vintage. I cannot tell you the exact year model. It's got 1236.1 hours. It's a little 3-cylinder water-cooled diesel. Takes 3.5 quarts. I run Rotella T 1540. On a Yanmar, if it says 23, basically it's 23 horsepower. If it says it's a 3000 series, it's 30 horsepower. If it says 22, guess what? It's 22 horsepower. Right down to 15 horsepower. If you're looking at these things, be sure and get you one that's water cooled and not air cooled. They tend to last longer, more consistent on the run. Anyway, change the oil and filter. Fuel filter's okay, and I'll tell you what here in a minute. Pulled the air cleaner. It looks brand new because it is. Right at 2 years ago was the last time I changed the oil and filter and everything on this tractor. Annually, I put anywhere from 6 to 14 hours on it. Annually. It's set up just to spray, and depending on how many times I spray, or now use it for fire suppression, is how often I run this little tractor. Got to use my new to me Lincoln grease gun. It's down here, and I try to have the lock and lube fittings on all my grease guns. They're expensive as hell. They are not cheap, but one hand operation. Clip it on, do your greasing, release it. You don't have to sit there and hold it on, and 9 times out of 10 you don't blow grease between the fitting and the grease fitting. Not a lot of grease points on this thing. One of the most important grease points on any tractor is your center pivot on the front axle. And everybody always forgets that one. So, down here on the floor, this right here is your center pivot. So your axle rocks left to right, okay? The grease fitting for this one on this tractor is on the back side, not the front side. Okay, almost, well, I'm going to say 99.9% of tractors have a front axle center pivot. All right, and I'm telling you, all the tractors I brought in to work on and fix and flip, about half of them, I could tell that that center pivot had not been greased in decades. Okay, if you wear it out to the point you get past the bushing and into the casting, it's son of a gun. Now, you don't want to do that, so don't. So get on the floor, get on the ground, get up underneath the tractor, and you're going to see a whole bunch of grease fittings you're not even thinking about. The front axle assembly, outboard, and tie rod assembly and everything, that always gets grease. But no one ever considers all the other things that have to get grease. This one's got grease on the brake pedals, the clutch pedal, the back tie rod assembly where it ties into the actuator for the steering. There's lots and lots of grease fittings on pretty much all tractors. So you really need to get hand over hand the whole thing. Just keep on looking. You think you found them all, keep on looking some more. If it moves, there should be a grease point on it somewhere, on any subcomponent on tractors and equipment. Just remember that. Oh, ouch, backers. So This one's taken care of for the next 2 years or so. Up here on the air filter, I like to write the oil quantity type used. I run 1540 on all diesels. On the filter, oil filter, date and hours. Just help people forget. You know, it's little paint pens you can get anywhere now, and they're dirt cheap. At Walmart, they're in the arts and supply section. And you can also get them at welding stores and just pretty much everywhere. You know, people like them, they're real dang handy. So, I love these little tractors. Again, my John Deere 1250 up at the farm, it's actually a Yanmar, it's not a John Deere. Yanmar built those tractors for John Deere back in the 80s. I'm always on the lookout for them. I love them. They sip fuel, trouble free. I rebuilt a Yanmar 3000. I didn't do a video of it. That was before I started my YouTube channel. I did an end frame, okay, including the liners. Once I had the parts in hand, the complete end frame assembly was less than 3 hours. And it was a little, man, I'm scratching my head. It was either a 3 or 4 cylinder diesel. I want to say it was a 3 cylinder diesel. It was a Yanmar 3000 series, if somebody wants to look it up. Stupid simple to work on, these tractors. Back then, they were made to be fixed out there in the field, rice paddy. They all come out of Japan. And stupid simple tractors. And if you ever get you a good one, you'll love it. Anyway, it's got long actually, so that's all for this one. Thank you.